Excellent job just bringing everybody together and getting them on the same page. Great work.
Sophie Cunningham just absolutely cooked the Mystics, poured in buckets, and then stood chest to chest with a trash-talking instigator like, not today, not ever. The Indiana Fever officially moved on from Melissa Smith and replaced her with a straight-up enforcer. And Sophie wasted no time proving she's that one. Someone tried to get slick with her. Sophie basically said, "Run that back if you're brave." Fever fans, this is the Caitlin Clark bodyguard you asked for. Stay locked in because this wasn't just basketball. This one got personal.
They are already now attacking Sophie Cunningham. Oh, they're mad. The MAGA Barbies got them angry. They're cheering on violence against this basketball player. Sophie Cunningham just got through by a rookie. And here we go.
Shot too strong there from Olsen. Cunningham pulls down. Here's that feistiness.
There you go.
She is fierce in the game. And I know it wasn't announced that Caitlin Clark wouldn't play until right before. But this is a preseason game where Clark is not available.
The Washington Mystics, a franchise so dedicated to irrelevance, it almost deserves applause. It's like a group project where nobody does their part, everything goes wrong, and then they act shocked when they fail. But this time, they didn't just lose. They got completely dismantled by Sophie. I'm really like that Cunningham. And just to add insult to injury, she reminded everyone watching who actually wears the crown now. Yes, Melissa Smith, former Fever player turned Mystics bench accessory, was there. But make no mistake, the spotlight wasn't hers. It belonged to Sophie. It always does.
It's just kind of who I am. I want to pour into my team as much as possible, and I'm pretty in tune with my body. I can read a room pretty well, and so when I see we're lacking a little bit, you got to step up. But if we're good, you're just there to encourage and give people confidence.
The Indiana Fever, currently surfing the Caitlin Clark hype wave like it's the last jet ski left on a packed summer lake, came into this game ready to send a message. And there was no better messenger than Sophie Cunningham, the WNBA's newest queen of clapbacks. The Fever's latest pickup wasn't interested in playing friendly basketball. She came to torch reputations, light up the scoreboard, and make sure Caitlin Clark doesn't have to wrestle an entire defense by herself while getting hit like she's carrying the ball on fourth and goal at Lambeau Field.
And that's Kiki Arifin, and I got to tell you, here we go with the smiling like you've done. I don't get it. This is the worst part of the WNBA.
Meanwhile, the Mystics looked like they accidentally wandered onto the court thinking they signed up for a Pilates session. They brought the energy of a damp paper towel, weak, ineffective, and falling apart on contact. Their defensive strategy appeared to be standing still and hoping Sophie missed. A bold approach, but a terrible one. Sophie Cunningham does not miss, especially not when someone decides to get physical and test her patience.
Sophie Cunningham. She was the lead scorer of the entire game for both teams.
Now let's talk about that moment. You know the one. When a Mystics player, clearly fueled by bad decisions and misplaced confidence, thought it was a smart move to take a physical shot at Sophie Cunningham. On a basketball court. Against Sophie Cunningham. That's like trying to snatch food off a wolf's plate and expecting to keep your fingers. Bold. Delusional. Extremely short-lived. Sophie didn't flinch. She didn't backpedal. She didn't look for help. She stood there calm, locked in, and unbothered like, do you actually know who you're dealing with? She gave that stare, the kind that strips confidence and ends conversations. And in that exact moment, Fever fans everywhere said the same thing. That's our enforcer. Sophie Cunningham is not here for the nonsense. She's not here to be bullied. And she's definitely not here to let anyone put hands on Caitlin Clark without consequences.
Here we go. Need Kiki to whack her again. Guys, it's where we're at. I mean, what are we doing? What are we doing? Right there, you can see Sophie telling her after that flagrant, you don't mother effing do that. You don't mother effing do that.
Fever fans have been pleading, screaming, practically howling for someone who isn't afraid to put a body on the floor if anyone dares mess with their prized rookie. And now they've got Sophie. She shoots like a cold-blooded sniper, plays with the toughness of a linebacker, and carries the unmistakable energy of a woman who would absolutely call your bluff in a Whole Foods parking lot. Meanwhile, Nalissa Smith stood across the court wearing Mystics colors like a rejected soap opera extra who missed her callback. Remember Nalissa? Former Fever player before the organization politely showed her the exit and replaced her with someone who doesn't vanish when the pressure hits. The transformation was wild. Nalissa's current on-court presence felt like a confused mall Santa, trying hard, slightly misplaced, and oddly aggressive when anyone asks too many questions.
Moment that happened within this really good game. Kiki Arafin getting a flagrant foul, and then also Brittany Sykes getting a flagrant foul, all on the same play.
You could almost hear the dialogue playing in Nalissa's head. Wait, they replaced me with her? Yes, darling. They did. And if watching your replacement rain shots, lock in on defense, and shut people down with one soul-snatching glare didn't hurt, you might want to check for a pulse. And the Mystics? Bless their hearts. They're not just a basketball team, they're a living warning sign. Every time they step on the floor, it looks like basketball software designed by unpaid interns. They've got the chemistry of soggy spaghetti and the offensive threat of a broken hairdryer. Watching them attempt to slow Sophie was like watching toddlers try to extinguish a house fire using juice boxes. The best part? Sophie didn't even need theatrics. No screaming. No flexing. No dramatic celebrations. Her game did all the talking. She knocked down shots like someone who already blocked the haters, organized her goals, and kept her receipts. She played with intent, defended with rage, and treated that Mystics matchup like a personal therapy session. Except instead of sharing feelings, she worked them out by torching the scoreboard.
We're going to make shots, and offensively we have every threat out there that you possibly need, but defensively is where when you really dial it in.
Let's pause for a second. Actually, let's pause for several because Caitlin Clark deserves it. Over the last few weeks, it's been open season on the rookie, like she wandered into a prison yard wearing a Hello Kitty backpack and carrying a copy of How to Win Friends and Influence People. Veterans with grudges and chips on their shoulders have been lining up to deliver elbows, hard fouls, and icy stares like it's some twisted initiation ritual. You'd think Clark entered the league demanding everyone's parking space and locker assignment. Instead, she showed up with buckets and buzz, and somehow that was enough to ignite half the league. Game after game, she's been treated less like a promising young star and more like the villain in someone else's revenge storyline. And while she's handled it with unreal composure, absorbing contact, shrugging off hostility, staying locked in, the Fever desperately needed someone willing to say, actually, no. You don't get to treat our rookie like a tackling dummy with a Nike deal.
To say, it is so evident when Caitlin Clark is not on the court for the Indiana Fever. She is such a floor general. She is the X factor for the Indiana Fever. She leads the way when they don't have her. I've said this before, but the Indiana Fever look like a train without a...
That's where Sophie Cunningham enters the chat.
She didn't tiptoe in.
She stormed in like a one-woman demolition crew with a doctorate in try me. No fluff, no filter. No hesitation, just pure, unapologetic energy. When a Mystics player decided to test Clark's patience and the referee's eyesight at the same time, Sophie shut it down immediately, in a language everyone in the building understood. Presence, physicality, authority, no fake drama, no overacting. Just a firm reminder that not everyone on the Fever roster is going to let you treat their teammate like a chew toy. And that's exactly what Fever fans have been begging for. Someone with that old school edge. Someone who doesn't just play basketball but enforces boundaries. Someone who sees cheap fouls and hard hits not as strategy, but as disrespect, and responds accordingly. Sophie Cunningham is that player. She's the bruiser who can still knock down a three, the protector who'd probably set a screen on a grizzly bear if it meant freeing up a teammate. She's not here for hugs or pleasantries. She's here for respect, retaliation, and rebounds. And right now, Caitlin Clark couldn't ask for a better ally.
game, it might take a player a little bit to find their rhythm. Not for you, though. You look like mid-season form out there, and your first time in a Fever uniform. How ready were you for this moment?
You know, I didn't play in the off season. I just want to get my body right. I had a couple surgeries, but you know what? This is a new era for me. This is just a fresh breath. Oh my gosh, I can't even speak. Fresh breath air, and we just have a really great group. We have a lot of great vets. We have a lot of young people who want to win, have the will to win, a bunch of dogs, and so I'm just coming in with a great attitude and just doing whatever the team needs me to do.
Meanwhile, Nalissa Smith looked like she accidentally stumbled into a live demonstration of career regression. Every time the camera found her, you could almost hear a sad trombone playing softly in the background. This was supposed to be her revenge game, right? The moment where she proved the Fever made a mistake. The chance to remind everyone she's still that player. Instead, she blended into the scenery so completely she might as well have been arena furniture. If invisibility were a stat, she'd be maxed out. It wasn't a comeback story. It was more like a LinkedIn update nobody clicked on. Fever fans, on the other hand, were thriving. Every defensive stop Sophie made, every bark after contact, they erupted like it was the 4th of July and she was lighting fireworks barehanded. This wasn't just about scoring. It was about pride. About sending a message to the league that Indiana isn't a team you can push around anymore, and that if you try, you'll be greeted by a 6-foot-tall reminder that this squad is done being soft.
Just we're a new team, right? You have a lot of newcomers. You have a new front office, a new coaching staff. You have a new system, and so it's going to take a little bit of time. This is the first time that we actually got up and down like that. And so I'm not worried about it. I think for us, it's more on the defensive end. I think offensively, I think everyone knows that, we're a powerhouse.
You really think you can shove Caitlin Clark around and not get a full Sophie Cunningham response delivered straight to your doorstep? That's adorable. Best of luck with that strategy. You think the Washington Mystics can roll in, throw hands, test limits, and walk away untouched? Not a chance. This is not the old Indiana Fever. This isn't the version of the team that shrinks under pressure or watches their rookie get body checked into next week while everyone freezes in silence. This is a new era, and Sophie Cunningham showed up carrying her own damn gavel. The verdict was immediate and unmistakable. Don't mess with Indiana. And absolutely don't mess with Caitlin Clark unless you're ready for a heavy dose of Sophie smoke. Because this squad isn't just a team anymore. It's a sisterhood with memory, receipts, and a very clear hit list. And sitting right at the top of that list, the Washington Mystics and their laughable attempt at intimidation.